Welcome back into the Fox Local Live Desk. You are taking a look at some of the injuries. If you were watching along with us earlier this week, Fox 13's David Rose brought this story to us where we were learning about this trans woman down in Renton who just got beat. And there was a number of teenagers involved in this attack. In the big update that he just brought to us, we now have another suspect. This is an image that was released a short time ago by police there. I just want to read from some of the updates that they sent out to us. They write, "These pictures clearly depict the suspect with distinctive facial hair, a unique necklace, and a black jacket with a red stripe on the sleeves. The suspect also appears to wear red suspenders hanging from the waist." So we know there were two previous arrests in this case, and now we have these two images of an individual that was also linked to this attack by police down there in Renton. So what I want to do is bring in Fox 13's David Rose. He's joining me here at the live desk. So a lot happening with this case, and I know this one touched a nerve with folks just because of how badly this woman was beaten.
Yeah, just to bring people up to speed in case they missed it, this woman, Nikki Armstrong, was just out for a walk. She lives not far from the Renton Transit Center, and she was heading down to a little sports pub near there, and she saw some teens, a big group of them, harassing a security guard and just other people, just, you know, creating all kind of chaos. She goes, "Don't you guys have anything better to do?" She continued on to the store when to the pub, pardon me, played some games, had a drink, had some dinner. As she came back, they were still there, and they started yelling homophobic slurs at her. "There, get her, get her." She ran and she tripped, and they were on her. And there were a bunch of them around. Police say 4 suspects are on video brutally beating her. 1 suspect has her in a chokehold. The others are pounding and kicking in her face and her head. Broke her eye socket, broke her nose. Renton police responded quickly. They got good witnesses. They arrested 2 of the suspects, 2 brothers, 15 and 17 years old, who go to Renton High School. They are close to arresting the 3rd suspect as we're speaking right now. They know who he is. They've made arrangements for him to surrender. They do not know who the 4th suspect, though, is. And as you know, in our state, law enforcement is not allowed to question juveniles. Anybody who's under 18 is not allowed to be questioned by police without a lawyer present. So they need the public's help to identify them. And as you know, it's really sensitive in this state about juvenile justice. Do we show them? Do we not show them? And it's because of ethical reasons and their age, we generally don't show juveniles. But there are times when the crime is serious enough and the police put it out, they want the help, because at this point, 1 suspect, 17, we don't know if this guy's 18, we don't know if he's 20, if he's 21, he doesn't go to Renton High School. We don't know who he is. So when you really don't know the age at that point, you can't say they're a juvenile. So that's why we're going ahead and releasing this, and that's why Renton police are hoping somebody will come forward anonymously through Crime Stoppers or to contact sbarfield@rentonwa.gov with a tip. Of course, we're going to be doing this all day. I commend them for working hard. The detective on this case, Matt, Detective Barfield, has been worked nonstop for the last 48 hours to find enough video that shows that this is a hate crime, because the prosecutor was not going to charge it as a hate crime because the victim herself said, "I think they just attacked me because they didn't like me, not because it was a hate crime." Police disagree, and they found videos that show them using all kinds of slurs and things that will prove that it is a hate crime. So they're going to send that to the courts and recommend hate crime charges. We'll follow up with the King County Prosecutor's Office and see if that made a difference, because the other 2 teens who were arrested are out right now on electronic home monitoring.
Now, I want to get on that for a second, but before we get to what happened to the other 2 teens, because I know this is going to cause some controversy for folks in our area. They're not going to like some of the news about what happened to the 2 that were previously arrested. But the injuries here, because I know you've described this to some of our viewers that watched this a few days ago, but those who may be hearing about this for the first time, I mean, this was a brutal attack. Surgery is required, correct? She is.
She's got impending surgeries to repair the broken eye socket and the broken nose. I don't know if they'll be able to do the surgeries individually or they'll be able to do it all at once. I did chat with her and made sure that she was doing okay today, and she's getting some help. She has some friends at Tukwila Police. They've given her all the information for the Crime Victims Compensation Fund. So that fund will help victims with some money. It's not a ton of money, but with some money. And then her GoFundMe, last time I checked, was up over $17,000, which will allow her to heal. It's not just the physical trauma, you know, it's where's she ever going to feel safe again? This happened right in her neighborhood as she's walking down the street. So she's going to need some time to recover, and that money's going to help her, give her a little bit of breathing room.
And so I want to show our viewers once again, this is that image that we just got in moments before we jumped on air. This is going to be the fourth suspect. You mentioned, if our viewers didn't catch that, a third suspect. There is arrangements for that individual to turn themselves in. But while we look at this image that investigators are hoping someone out there can ID this individual, I want to hear a little bit more. The other two suspects arrested, detained, but since then released, correct?
Yeah, you know, I struggle with this because I see both sides of it, but I don't understand it because they were arrested right there at the scene. When they went before Judge Veronica Galvin, she has a history of being very lenient with defendants. She doesn't think any kids should be in jail. And, you know, a lot of crimes, that's true. But when a violent crime like this happens, why not hold the kid for 3 days until the prosecutor gets the full case, because they're getting more information every day from police, and then at that point you can make a decision whether to release them on electronic home monitoring or to keep them in custody. In our state, there is no bail system for juveniles. You're either released or you're kept in custody. She released them right away with the stipulation they couldn't do pro-social activities. So what the heck is that, right? Well, two of them said that they play football. They want to go back and play football. Well, the schools, the Renton schools, have suspended them immediately. I checked again today because I heard that might have been rescinded. It's not. It's suspended for at least 10 days while this investigation unfolds. They're not going to be playing football. They're not going to be doing anything. And I'll tell you this, Matt, they were hardly showing up to school anyway, right? So that's a whole different side of the story. So where are their parents? Where are their families? You know, why are they just hanging out, you know, at the transit stop and causing this chaos? Those are questions for down the road. Right now, they need to get this guy. Can I tell you this guy's not going to stay in custody? No. But once we get him identified, at least the judicial process can proceed.
All right. Fox 13's David Rose, I know you've been on top of this one and helping connect our viewers with the story of this woman who, wow, I mean, you're right, it's going to be some time. Just looking at these images that we see on our screen here, you're talking surgeries, you're talking downtime, and then, yes, the emotional trauma. I can't even imagine it, David.
Yeah, it's just it's heartbreaking, but, you know, she's hanging in there, and we'll keep you posted on that. And I want to commend our viewers. They have stepped up and donated to her GoFundMe. If you go to our website and you just type in Renton Attack or Transit Attack or Nikki Armstrong, that will come up. It has a link to her GoFundMe. And so go to fox13seattle.com, and if you want to help her, you can do that there. Great.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Matt.
We appreciate it. And while David and I work behind the scenes to kind of wrap things up here on this particular story, I'll just share with you one more time. This is that fourth suspect that they still have not identified. So the hope is that somebody out there may recognize this individual. Renton detectives noting that there is a distinctive facial hair, a unique necklace, and a black jacket with a red stripe on the sleeve. The suspect also appears to wear red suspenders hanging from the waist. Now remember, this was something that happened just a few days ago, so there's still a lot of information here. And also, I should mention, they write here that you can submit an anonymous tip via Crime Stoppers, and that could be eligible for a reward as well. So obviously this is a story that we'll be paying more attention to in the coming days, and as David mentioned, we'll be working on this as a newsroom and hopefully have some more information. But if you just saw those images and you were as shocked as many of us probably were of the injuries to Nikki, you can always check out our web story, fox13seattle.com, if you want to find more information about that GoFundMe and try to help out or just share it for other people in the community so they know what just happened there.